I think that's maybe where your co-founder's background also maybe helps here as well. Like I know your co-founder comes from a hedge fund background, and like he basically also likes to stay hands-on with budgets for the ads. So maybe can you tell me a little bit more about how you guys are actually drawing the line between what AI should handle and what a human should own, and where do you see the biggest opportunity with your current workflow from that standpoint as well?
I think to me, the value of AI is still in enabling us to make better decisions. And I think as it stands, it can give us good data, it can give us good ideas, but it's still up to us to ensure how do we implement best to reduce costs, maximize output, and overall drive profit. And so I always think of it as kind of like just it makes me more effective at everything I do, but it's still up to me to make that final decision. And Tim feels very similarly. He likes to make the final budget change on every ad, and I think the primary reason is because he wants to be able to make the change and see what happens. And so he's building this constant feedback loop of when I do this, this happens, instead of trying to do some generic algorithm that makes the decisions, because Facebook can be so finicky and sometimes certain ads don't perform the way other ads do. So he can understand the nuance of what are the variables that actually matter and which ones don't. I think the time when I would feel comfortable with an AI media buying is the time when it understands all of those pieces and principles of which ads might scale faster than others, which ones might fatigue faster than others, which ads maybe are more important. They're more like, for example, maybe more top of funnel versus bottom of funnel than their click through conversion would say otherwise, even with an MTA. And so I think that's important. And then on the creative strategy side, I think, the AI can pull out really good insights, but it only has so much context about, what makes us different, what makes the brand unique, how we compete against other people, what lines, we want to cross, how conversion focused do we want to be or not. And I think those are the times again where it can come up with a lot of really good ideas much faster than I can. It could spit out 100 ads before I finish the sentence, but it's up to me to ensure that we're again balancing testing costs and output. So I'm a huge fan.